car hauls ass. I switched the engine audio to Survival Fugitive. A little more throaty. Oh yeah! Needs a little bit more grip bias to the front here. You took all the rambling out of me, Jesus Christ! I don't know how he didn't die there. Okay.
You probably won't, you think you're cooler than me. You got designer shades just to hide your face. And you wear them around like you're cooler than me. And you never say, hey, yo, remember my name. And it's probably cause you think you're cooler than me.
Why? Fucking ruiner. Yeah, this one, I'm trying to remember, this game, yeah, you want to actually lane split if you're pursuing somebody. Oh, man. Oh no, he merged off the expressway. Okay. Oh my god. Wasn't sure how that would work. No wheel damage though. Drive on. Got imaginary formation around this road. See, like you can get some oversteer if you're ham-fisted with it, and that's kind of the way you gotta drive this car, man. You can't be gentle with it if you want it to duck and weave correctly. Or just give yourself more time to react and set the car up for the maneuver you want to do with it. Wow. What if those would work in your custom server? Because I know the tow truck, I remember that was a huge problem. Oh boy. Oh boy. Catching air in this car from angles like that is an asshole puckery experience if there ever was one. Okay, we pass on the shoulder. Depending on where you are, it may be easier to just do this as opposed to splitting a lane. You just need to watch for the median or the divider. Hard right up here. Oh, she's not having it. There we go. Woohoo! Oh boy. Oh no, you got it. Yeah, baby. Panther Platform Master Race. Gotta flex on those other full-size sedans. Oh my god. Oh my god, I angled out of almost every impact. Actually, no, I think I did. I don't think I have suspension damage. I think the car's fine. I came really close there. Woo! Never a dull moment with this car. Man alive. Yeah, do it! Your foot to the floor for a fair amount of this drive. Make no mistake. So, we've got some progress here. Caprice PPV is replaced. Sheriff Crown Victoria. Obviously, this thing got a custom handling line. Oh yeah, a little fast for its brakes sometimes. They're good going uphill, though. Although you can say that about all these cars. At least he committed to that turn. What really gets me is when you have a car coming out of the driveway and they don't commit all the way to either staying or going. That makes it so tricky. And they throw a couple curveballs at you in single player. This is much easier uphill than downhill, though. Your brakes are so much better. You do feel the weight of this car at higher speed. Well, I suppose that's to be expected. Oh, I can recover from that, though. That's a decent amount of slip angle.
It's over. You lose testosterone over time. By the time the average man hits 4.
Channel X.
Now, you want to see how much harder this is? I just wasn't set up properly from the corner. I came into that way too hot. I'm watching this wall like I'm a hawk. And even then, depending on how it goes, you see how I kind of kicked the tail out before I even saw the car there? Just in case, if I want to do a little bit of a wider turn, it might be quicker to just evade by drifting as opposed to just going around normally. Just barely dodged the wheel impact there. This car's suspension is extremely fragile.
Anal cleansing dates back to the Egyptians. Coffee enemas have been all the rage
Right
for
here.
a few years now. That it rectifies
It's weird because your braking zone here is actually very narrow. If you do it too early, then you lose speed. If you do it too late, more often than not, you go into that driveway at the bottom. That's your runoff. If you do it really improperly, you hit something and seriously damage the car. Now see, I can avoid wheel impacts if I'm careful. Like, the car's fine, but you have to get good about basically aiming for the B pillar. This is probably one of the better cars to teach you how to angle. It was a low impact. I didn't angle it very well, though. See, look at all the suspension travel. Like, it won't get unsettled by bumps. It doesn't really care. It's not like some of these other cars. But it's got this weird combination of fragile wheels, and it's a huge target. I mean, if you're in a bigger vehicle, like an SUV or something, which reminds me, I need to drive one of the SUVs. Now, what have we here? I did a handling line for the Yankton version too, the police version. This drives like a truck. I mean, it doesn't have independent front suspension, so that already means it's a truck. Early square body. Very early square body.
Hey, I ain't got time for this crap.
Oh, nice. That was from parking on a corner. Or parking in my apex.
Shit, that was close.
Find a nice steep grade that I can billy goat here. Yeah, see how the brakes are a little weak? I mean, it makes sense. It's a big, heavy truck. It doesn't have the greatest design for this sort of sport driving, but she billy goats quite well. I mean, I'm not even at full throttle. I don't even need to be. It's a nice adventuring vehicle. The police version is quite nice as well. And you can obviously change the engine audio to something that doesn't sound like a 4.3. Show ya. I just want to do the police vehicles first because these will be the things I'll be getting chased with. Imagine this would be a very popular choice. This thing's a beast. A little bit more torque. It's a little bit heavier. It's got a little bit more aerodynamic drag, but at low speed, this thing is quite powerful. Oh my!
You not run from me, dumb animal.
I think it was a rabbit. Oh yeah, you feel the weight. This drives like, very much like a truck. I wanted it to be a little clumsy, powerful, easily angled out of impacts, plenty of ground clearance. Man, oh man, I mean, it drives okay for what it is. I mean, for a heavy unit that can be used to pursue, or basically a second wave if you're chasing somebody. Because obviously you'll have your Caprices and your Chargers at the very front, followed by a Taurus and or Crown Victoria, depending on what kind of terrain you are and what everyone's driving. And then you're going to have these. So you have 6 or 7 vehicles going here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. I really do like driving this truck. I put more miles on it than my preferences in driving and cars would have you lead to believe. This thing is just so reliable. It just doesn't care. I mean, it takes so much to damage a wheel on this thing usually. Maybe like even this. You think, oh, that looks terrible. I mean, it is terrible. But my wheels are totally okay. I had to weight transfer a little bit, but I miss my push bumper. I don't think it has the extra strong flag, so it just kind of flies off when it gets hit. Ambulances are the same way. I think it looks better without it, honestly, but... I like how the antennae get bent, too. This is just a nice truck. It's a really good heavy unit. It knows exactly what it wants to be, and it handles okay. See, I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely a truck. This thing is under no false pretenses. It is a big, heavy truck with a lot of torque. So, I suppose... It's so fun. You can drive like a jerk with this thing, and you can get away with it. Whatever doesn't yield to your sirens and imposing frame, you can just usually brush aside, because you're so tall and you're so heavy. But I made sure to give it downforce so it actually stick to the ground somewhat well. And it would also handle a little bit, too.